to meet you.
Meet you.
Up here, and then he calls. He's like, actually got some work early. What? 13. Oh, it's gonna be late.
No,
So you can stay hang out.
that's cool.
Alright. Where do you work from today, right?
Yeah,
Do you work over with the beaches or?
I kind of work everywhere. So I work out of Dagsboro, but we go down to Lewis and Rehoboth. We go down Dewey, all those. But we also go Selbyville. I was in Salisbury all day. Just depends on where the construction is. Nope. Well, you can get away with that. Go ahead.
Okay. What do you normally do?
Come in from behind. Yep.
Behind you?
Yep.
Everybody else. Extra.
Yeah, there you go. Handsome. Handsome. How's he been?
Oh, pretty good. We've only done it once. Wow.
Okay. And has it gone well?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't put too much. We did ride one time. I tried it with the reins, but I'm not ready for that yet.
Try what?
We up with the reins. I don't think I'm gathering from up here the direction that I kind of pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so when you're sitting on them, it's literally arm out, straight up. And then you just got to wait it out, you know. So, like, if you brought him over to the mounting block and set him up at the mounting block, and then while you're standing at the mounting block, you can show him even more what it would look like if you were in the saddle, right?
Yeah. So, of course, they're getting, and I really wasn't so good. So I was like, oh, well, let's just see. You know,
Oh, sure, yeah.
do it. Not quite there yet. And so after that, I just focused with the up and the down.
Okay,
And I had him do it once and then out.
okay. So has he offered to go out on the circle that way?
No, I haven't tried him going out completely without the eagle.
Oh, well, yeah. I would say he's not ready to be a Liberty horse yet. Okay.
But I did show Mike, and I mean, when I asked, when he was out of the picture, I asked him if he would.
Okay.
I find myself stopping myself and feel like I tried asking, okay, for that, I was struggling with that for some reason. But I think that was the thing.
As soon as you tell him to go out on the circle, is he just goes out on the circle and keeps it down, whether you tell him walk, trot, or canter? Until you disengage his hindquarters and tell him to stop and look at you. Like I said, I don't lunge horses just for the sake of exercising them or whatever people lunge horses for. I do it really for like the engagement of the hindquarters. Okay, well let's see him do that, and we'll see what we can add to his language today. Good boy. Yeah, and then what I do is, so that he doesn't get confused, because now you're going to pull, I would tap him on his withers to tell him to pick his head up. So that way you give him a different cue to pick his head up, because you just said, I'm pulling on you, put your head down, now I'm going to pull on you to try to get your head up. So, you're right? So you can even do it kind of like a, and then you can add that, you know. Good boy. Good. So you would do it more, you know, like it's a command when you slap the wither. So you slap like right here, and then you do it more like it's a command, and then you can pull up at the same time. This way, he'll know that that is to lift his head as opposed to. Head down. Good boy, good boy. Okay, so now let's ask him to do it out on the circle. So that starts with always backing him away from you, having him stop and ask you, what would you like me to do? Choosing a direction, and then choosing your gait. So we'll tell him to go boy, go boy. Now, what's cool about that is, remember I told you that once they learn the sideways, when they don't know what you want, they'll come sideways towards you to say, I don't know what you want, I'm really trying to do what you want me to, but I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But I know you like it if I do this.
Yeah.
So it's a cool way for them to tell us, kind of be like, pause, I really do want you to do, I want to do what you want me to do, but I don't understand that. But I know you like it if I do this. So it's kind of their way of being able to tell us without us getting mad at them for, not doing what we want. So you're going to tell them to back up. Mean it? Okay, buddy. Okay, so let me just show you something real quick. Okay, so we're not going to become like chronic white noise. We're going to say back. Our body language says it. If he doesn't respond to that, then we're going to turn it up right away. So like, let's just say, he's going to respond to me because my body language will say he didn't. So I'm going to say right away. So now I'm going to test if he just learned what my body language said first. Good. Now, did you see what his ears did? Those were worried because I caught him off guard when he otherwise was ignoring the wiggle. I don't want to become like the chronic white noise, right? I'm sorry, buddy, but you did good. Because we start doing that, then when we need the wiggle, they've already tuned that out so often for other things. And you need him to stop before he even hits the end of the line. You want to be able to use that wiggle and have it be effective in that instance. Okay. There you go. So since he's there, go ahead and choose a direction. So you're going to point with the rope that's in your hand. So the leading, and then you're going to use your tail. There you go. Yep, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. Now you're not going to chase him. He's already walking. So once he's walking, we're just going to let him walk. If he stops, then we're going to just kiss. We're going to raise our hand first. If that doesn't keep him going, then we're going to kiss once. And then we'll give the physical support. Good, good, good. Head down. So in order for him to learn that that's what you're looking for consistently, you have to be consistent about telling him to put his head down as soon as it starts to come back up. So if his nose passes his knees, you are too late. Good? Good. Hind yield him. So you can look at his butt like he's got something good. Wiggle so he backs up that one front foot back. Good. Okay. So now, did you try to go the other direction? Because that's the direction we taught it. But you could have. Okay. So we can try it, send him out on the circle, and see if the information translates to this side. If not, we're not going to make him wrong for not letting it. We're going to stop, we're going to come back, we're going to take a step back and show him the head down from this side of his body. If you want him to move his feet, tell him to. Good. Good. It's okay, so now he's already telling us, I've never really even gone that direction at all, right? Yeah. So that's what he's saying, because he's not trying to be bad. He's trying to say, but I've never gone that way. See, his ears are like, I'm confused. And his desire was, I still want to do good, but I usually go this way. He's like, I usually go this way, so he's like a deer in the headlights right now. But he's by no means refusing Okay, and this is how horses end up getting abused. Because then somebody jumps out on this side of them and starts swinging the rope. You know, okay. I know, I'm so animated today. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to help him through that. So now we're going to tell him to go, like I would point at the camera, and then I would, as soon as his, so I would stand more in front of him, as soon as his nose moves and he exposes his shoulder, so basically, if you can't see his shoulder, you need to get him to move his nose and his neck, because your goal is to see the shoulder. Once you see the shoulder, you're going to kiss and support energy at the shoulder to tell him to follow his nose that way. Now let's just say hypothetically, he tips his head, you're too late to telling him to go, and he straightens his head back out. As soon as he straightens his head back out, he's going to follow his nose. You need to make sure that if he does this, you're in a timing of saying, okay, I see the shoulder, I need him to follow his nose. But if he does this, you need to stop trying to chase the shoulder, stop telling him to go forward, get the nose doing what you need the nose to do again, and then ask him to follow his nose. Okay, so now we're gonna go the other way. Oh, so, my bad. Yeah. Yep. My bad. Sorry. So his nose has. So I would point at like the goat's little house there. I'd point way over there. But you're not going to take line. Good. Okay, he's not trying to be bad. So, good boy. So I would not take line. So I wouldn't chalk up on the line. Okay. This is just to suggest where he looks at his nose. So I'm going to tell him where I want his nose to look that way. So now I'm going to tell his nose. So I'm going to try to get, because you're in the way, sorry. I just don't want to swing it at you. So I'm going to tell his nose to turn. As soon as his nose turns, good. But I'm going to release him there because he had a hard time finding it, right? So I want him to know that that's all I was just looking for, and my support was not to be mean, my support was not to be abusive, it was to support. So I don't want him to see this and go, okay? So if I tell him to put his nose out, see how this is, I have nothing to do with his nose right now. I'm talking to his nose through my energy. I have intention right now to say, I want your nose to turn that way. Till his nose turns that way, I can't do anything about his shoulder. I can't tell his feet to move. If I tell his feet to move, they're going to come to me. So first I have to wait on his nose. I might have to tap his nose. Good. Okay? You did a good job. You did a good job, yeah. Okay, so he might be able to do it a little bit more easy. Nope. Yep. Good. Because he was willing to go, I'm going to tell him to go. Good. You did good. So that was all questions, right? He said, did I do okay? He's got kind of a cool personality. He really doesn't want to be bad by any means. He's a lot like my Clydesdale. I know that he's a cross. Is he Shire cross or Clydesdale cross? Do you know? Okay. Well, he's a lot like my Clydesdale, who just kind of has that big, always leaning over his knees, kind of big, dopey, you know.
Yeah, that's his demeanor too.
Yeah, dopey, but wanting to be a good boy. You know, he wants to be. Yeah. He's kind of like, I don't know, did I do good? You know, like maybe he's wandering in the house after a few cocktails. You know. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, and I would point to the corner post there of that paddock. So remember, we're pointing with him to have the idea that you're telling him to look that way. We're not pointing that way. Because you point that way, you're going to, like if you point your arm straight off of you, the line, he's going to come right to you. Okay, so it has nothing to do with supporting with the line. You support with the, yep, but have your intention be, turn and look at that post, like, there, kiss, good. Just because he's offering, good. Hind yield him, so hind yield him, good. So the extra kiss that was not a mistake you made, I didn't tell you in time, so that kind of scared him. Did you notice it kind of scared him? Okay. So this is good. Like he doesn't know any of this stuff, which I know people tried to, because they told me that they tried to lunge him, they tried to teach him that. His fear, like that's all fear that he just showed us, means that he never understood it. He tried like hell, though, because he's really trying, but he just never understood it. So I'm glad that we're able to now explain it to him. Okay, so go ahead and tell him to back up. Yep, and always be consistent. Like, even if you want it to be like a sweetness, it can't be. It's a dominant thing. Mm-hmm. One more backup step. Good. Tell him to look at me. Now, you backed him away from you, and then you closed in that space. Good. Kiss for him to go, just so he knows he's allowed to move. Yep, go ahead and support by putting your hand up. Just put your, yep, good. Leave him alone until he's not moving. Then you're going to tell him, I need you to keep moving. Yep. And then once he's not moving, leave him alone. I mean, once he's doing what you want, leave him alone. You're not going to nag at him. Now go ahead and well, let's just establish a circle first. Good? So we're going to first put our hand forward to say, keep going. Yes, like that. If he doesn't respond to that, we're going to kiss. Then we'll give the physical support. Physical support wants to be the last thing we do. Good. Good. Okay, go ahead and hind yield him to let him know that that's all we were looking for. Good. Go tell him he did a great job. If he closes in like he just did, I would tell him to put those 2 feet back, because I didn't ask you to come into me, I came to you, right? So he has to... Yeah, so like if I'm coming in to pet him and he's approaching me, I'm going to stop with my and say, no, I didn't say come forward, I'm coming to you, right? That's part of the problem with like the crowding that he has, is that he doesn't know he's not supposed to be on top of you. And it's, as much as it seems like, oh, isn't that awesome? He loves me so much. It's dangerous. Okay, go ahead and tell him to back up. This time we're going to ask him to get out on the circle, and then we're going to ask him to see if we can talk him into putting his head down. So, yep, back. Good. One more. Mean it. Good. Yep. Now you just closed in that space again. I want him to back away from you. Okay. Good. Now tell him to go to that corner again. Actually, it's more like that top of that dozer or that loader over there. Kiss so he can leave. Good. Good. Leave him alone. So go neutral. Put your hands down. Go neutral. There you go. Yep. Yep. This way, when you do need him to listen and you activate your hand back up, he's going to go, oh, okay. But if you keep your hand up, it's like white noise. It's like you're just kind of steadily talking to him for no reason. So once he goes out on the circle, you're going to lower your hand. Once you've got him doing what you want, until he doesn't go. So that way, when you become alive, he's going to go, yes? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Right? But if you stay talking to him, he's going to be like, oh, man, this lady talks a lot. Right? First his nose before you tell him to go. Just don't support the shoulder till his nose, but you can tell his nose to turn. So just put your energy towards his nose, because he's not listening to you. Tell him, yep. Don't get any closer though. You don't close in there. Now tell his feet to move. There you go. Good. Yes. Yep. Put your hand up now. Yes, because he asked. Good. Yep, kiss for him to go. Good. He's asking again. Put your hand up. There, perfect. See how he asked you and you answered, right? He said, what do you want me to do? And you said, I'd like you to keep going. And he said, okay, cool, right? Of course, he took advantage and said, maybe I'll have a little snack on the way, but I have no problem with them doing takeout if I don't want them to dine in. Go ahead and ask him to put his head down now, which he's probably going to do happily because he's been trying to dine in. Yep. Now, if he bumps down at all, you're going to give it to him because he's going to look for that, but he hasn't done it in this direction. That's okay. It's okay. So, but we still need him back out on the circle. So we're not going to reward him for stopping and asking. We just want to make sure we have an answer. So right now, he's already kind of just messed himself up a little bit. So go ahead and tell him to get back out on. We'll back him up again now, though, because he's facing you. Yeah. Yep. Now don't close that in. Yep. Tell his nose to turn. Don't close it in. You've taken 2 steps already. Now you take another step. Good. Yes. Now tell him to go. Tell him to go. Kiss. Good point. Yep. Good. Good. Yep. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Hand down. Leave him alone. Good. Answer his question. Put support on the shoulder again. Good. Leave him alone. And you real carefully don't bang him in the face right after you tell him to leave. Good. So that's evasion. Him looking out is not because he's curious about what's going on over there. He's just a little nervous about the situation. There's a lot of horses, when you watch them lunge, they lunge with their head completely turned outside the circle. And that's why, because they don't actually understand it. And they, okay. There's a chance he's going to stop and pee. Go ahead. Keep going, bud. Good boy. So now deliberately tell him, put his head down next time it goes up. Good. Yep. And then tell him he's good. Yeah, he's got to pee. Has he been running around a lot?
He looks pretty sound. I mean, he runs in the field. Now when I ride, we only do it walk, and I've been more ground than anything, so I barely ride him. Barely. I took him around the farm the other day just to how he would respond to us.
Yeah, the big horses have a tendency to be a little strong.
Yeah.
So it's going to be important that we educate him to the pressure. So that way, I don't know, did you do bitless with the halter or did you do bitless with a hackamore? Okay. With the rope halter, I hope. Okay. Because with a regular halter, oh no. Yeah, you're a sitting duck. Yeah. That's just a curb strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ride my other one in it. She likes it. She's well.
Does it have the shanks? Does it have like the either rawhide noseband? It could have a padded noseband, and then got like the little hingy thing here. Oh, so it crosses under.
Yeah, it crosses underneath.
Yeah, so that I think is so confusing to horses though, because it pulls on this side to tell them to go that way.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know, for some reason I'm like, man.
I never even thought about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, people have success with it. I mean, it's a matter of educating them to it, but it's just for me, I never really like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Hand down if he's going already. Little puddle there, huh? So do you feel he's sound enough to trot? Go ahead, hind yield him. Good boy, back him up that one step. And now 2. Good, and stop. Good boy. And patience, yep. Is he sound enough to trot or no?
Yeah, I mean, he's trotted and he's looked pretty sound. He's had
Much time off?
7.5 months. 8 months. About 8 months.
Because what we could do is we could teach him, but we don't have to like, aggravate anything. Just teach it to him and then be like, okay, that's it. So we could teach him how to trot on cue, and then we can teach him the downward. So trotting on cue is I do 2 kisses then. So just walk is a single kiss, trotting is 2 kisses. Once they pick up the trot, we're going to let them establish it for, even if it's only for like 10 strides, but we're going to, or not even that, like 5 strides. But then we're going to ask him by wiggling the rope, and kind of as he's coming around here, we're going to wiggle the rope kind of as if you're trying to wiggle it towards his rib cage. So like he's standing here and you're going to wiggle the rope kind of going that way. So it kind of creates a backward bump on the line, but the wiggle is what he's going to respond to as being the downward, because the wiggle is, downward from canter to trot to walk to hoe to backing up. And then once he's walking, we're going to leave him alone again, let him continue to walk. Then we're going to raise our hand again and double kiss for him to pick up the trot again, as this being our cue. Once he trots a few strides, we're going to automatically ask him to come back down. Okay, so see if we'll have him go the way he understands better. He's getting it this way, but I don't want to bite off too much in this direction. He understands the other direction a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and ask him to. So hind yield him, back him up a step, and then we'll change directions. Either that, or we can teach him the change of direction on the circle. Which would you think you'd rather do? Yeah, because a change of direction doesn't require too much exertion on his part, and that I'm gonna have to show it to you. I can walk you through the verbal part of it, but I'm
to walk me through those.
okay. So
whichever one we were doing.
I always do it. Okay, so I'll do the change of direction. Okay, so I do it on a rail. So if I'm standing with my horse, I'm going to turn, face his shoulder. I'm going to create like a V, okay? And what I'm going to do is when I back up, I'm going to draw him with me. And I'm going to actually bring his nose with me. Once I see his other eye as I've pulled him with me, I'm going to then show him where I want his nose to go. And then I'm going to support that side of his face and cause his body to basically flip around, okay? After I get that other eye, then I'm going to close him in. So he goes against the rail with his shoulder that way. Okay, so I'll give you a demonstration. Okay, so I'm going to get him up against the rail. Ooh. Good. So I'm going to bring him with me, get his eye. It's not going to go that easy for you. So good boy. I'll do one more. I'll do one more for him, for his benefit. Ooh. Come on. Good. Okay. Okay, so that didn't even go very easy for me, so I'm going to tell him to go back out to the rail. Tell him to hoe. Yeah, you're on my rope. Hey. Good. Wait. See, when I see that other eye, good. So I wiggled because I didn't want him to think he was supposed to go forward. So he's got a little nervousness here. Good. You're okay. That's all we're doing. So because he got a little scared, let me help him with that one more time. Move your butt over to the wall. Hey. Good. Ready? So if you're standing like this, you're going to look at his shoulder. You're going to get his other eye, kind of like scoop it around, and then drive his shoulder out to the wall. Wait. Ho. You're okay. So let me just show it to him on the circle. So on the circle, what that's actually going to look like is going to be so refined, but he's going to understand it. Now, I usually do pop quizzes. Did I already do pop quizzes with you yet? Where I go, pop quiz. Okay. If I'm doing a circle right here, and I want to do his first change of direction, or even say his first 3 changes of directions, where would I do that? Yes. What do you mean? Nope. Right there where I taught it to him. Because it's going to look the most familiar to him right there. Okay, so. So I was only changing my. So now I'm going to get his nose. Now he doesn't know it in this direction, so I'm just going to high kneel him. No, 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 no one said come in here. So I'm going to be a little strict about that. Nope, nope. Out, out. So now I'm going to come alive when I get here. So like I have intention now. My intention is run my hand down the line, get a hold of his other eye, get a hold of his shoulder, tell him to go. Go boy. And like I said, he doesn't know it this way, so we're just going to high kneel him. Keep him out there. Good job. And I come to you and give you love. So you can either try that. First, I want you to do it on the rail, so you can get the body language. Because once he's out on the circle, it's really just this. Once he fully understands it, like I'm still guiding his nose right now, but it will be where eventually you just go like this, and he bounces up and goes the other way. Because the idea. Okay. So we're gonna go over to that panel there, just because it looks the most familiar to him. Good. Ooh. Good. So you're going to change hands. You're going to run your right hand down the line towards his nose. You're going to guide his nose around. You're going to back up so he has room to get between you and him. There you go. Too much energy?
I got too much.
It's okay. It's okay.
Too much rope in my hand.
Yeah, and it was too loud. So it's very suggestive because he's very sensitive. Okay? So it's almost like you're going to, like, when he comes in and you see that other eye, you're almost going to, like, sweep him. And you're not even going to really swing the rope. You're just going to kind of sweep him. Good. So guide him in, give him room, give him room. You got to back up more, give him room. Nope, too much energy. You're not sweeping, you're swinging. No swinging the rope. No. So what's happening is you're still staying here and expecting him to use this space for that big horse. You need to back him up and give him as much room as that big horse needs to get turned. No, you're going to bring him with you. Okay? So figure about 2 feet. There you go, right there. Now you're going to bring him with you, and as that other eye comes around, yes, now guide his shoulder. That's okay. Okay, good. So don't swing the rope. Yeah. You're going to guide his shoulder, and you're going to tell him to go that way. So now you went from come here to go there. Okay, so it's all kind of a sweeping motion. And this hand is just to scoop him along. And the goal is to keep him right where he is, just flip him around. Back up so he has room to come between you. He had nowhere to go but back up. You come back now. Yes, yep, Yep. Yep. Get that other eye. Now guide that shoulder to the rail. Okay. So the guide is you're kind of going to walk into his space from there. So you're going to guide him out, and then once you see the shoulder, you're going to kind of push him back out to that rail. So now if he had a lot of forward motion, that would be because you swung the rope. He's going to back into the fence if you back him up more. So get at the shoulder, because it has to look like it's going to look like on the circle. Good. Now, back up. Guide his nose to come with you as you back up. Get out of his way a little bit. Yep, almost. It's okay. Better. So maybe if you push the outside eye, so when this eye comes in, maybe if you push that eye out instead of the shoulder. So try to get his nose to go to the fence instead of his shoulder. So guide him towards you, get out of his way enough that he can use that space, and now get his eye to go towards that's better. It's okay. So you froze in your position. So you backed up and stopped, and he had no choice but to kind of walk off. You need to follow through and push him back out onto the rail. Okay. Good boy. He's a willing guy. He's like, yeah, I don't know really what we're doing, but it's cool. I'll keep doing this. Get out of his way so he can. That's better. That's better. So now we're going to want to try to do it with just energy instead of you like, move horse, right? So your energy, he's sensitive to support energy. He really doesn't need to have a lot done in terms of like elevated energy. So when you bring him this way and you start to tell his opposite eye, that now that is going to be the eye that you see the best, tell that eye to go to the fence. So you actually going to want him to even tip his nose towards the fence, and then you're going to support the shoulder then. But I wouldn't even really, I would just show it to him. I'd even like maybe just kind of shake it at him or something. I think you'll scare him into going off. Yeah, and I'd rather him not think that we're telling him to go right now. Yep. Good. So what actually was happening though is you weren't bringing him with you. You were pulling him that way. So I want you to bring him with you and then tell his eye to go the other way. So it really is very much but he gets to use all this space. So you have to make sure you get out of his room, out of his way, because if you only give him this much room, that's not fair. Right. Do you have the time? Okay, thanks. I didn't bring my phone. Bye. Yes. Okay. Now you have an opportunity. What's lacking here? It's good that he stopped, because now you can figure out where he basically said freeze. What do you need me to do to get on that rail now? But his nose, look where his nose is pointed. So we actually want him to think he's supposed to come all the way back over here, right? So point his nose this way. There. Good. Good. Okay. So it was kind of cool that he froze in the Right, because that's right here. If he had kept moving, that's where he has the mess, right?
Yeah.
This is what before he made any mistakes. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I like him. He asks a lot of good questions. He's like, but if what I've been doing is wrong, what do I do from here?
Yeah.
Right? So I like him. Okay.
Other than the goat guy, he takes his commuter all the time. I know you want that crap.
Yep, and you're not pulling him towards you. You're trying to guide him around by the rope. I don't want you to guide him by the rope other than to come to you, and then I want you to guide his body with your body language. The only time your rope has any contact with his nose is asking him to come off the rail to you. Then you're going to point as if he was on the circle.
Okay.
So you want his nose to turn over there. Then you're going to...
I think I'm totally missing that part. Okay. Yeah. Try that.
There you go. There you go. Better. So let me show him one more time just so, because he got in a little bit of a pattern. Stop. Where? Okay. Where's that? Right there? All right. Cool. So you're going to back. So my intention is to see him basically just pivot on his hind legs. Good. So yeah, so you're not going to pull or drive. You're going to just point for him to go as if you told him to go out on the circle. Sometimes I have to figure out what I'm doing naturally that I'm not breaking down verbally.
Yeah, but I see you, and I think what I'm also doing is I see you coming in, but you still have the amount that you're going to pull, but you're giving slack and kind of letting him know, and then it's like, come on, and I don't think I'm doing that either. I think I'm starting to do that.
Well, yeah, because I want him to draw into my body.
Yeah.
Yep, good. And now tell his nose, and then tell his shoulder. Yep. There you go. Good boy. He got worried. That's why he started to walk off. Okay, so.
I'm telling you, when you do it, it's so smooth.
Oh, because mine
I'm
is
like
so.
an absolute idiot. Like I'm like a.
Oh, I told you it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
But mine is 100% intention.
Yeah.
You know, like I have absolute, like I know what I want it to look like, so I know what I want it to, you know. So if you kind of, it's basically practicing intention.
Okay.
Your intention is to get him to basically flip around on that rail right there. Yep. There you go. Good. That was good. It's okay. It's okay because you know, I don't know if you noticed when I close that in, I close it in kind of a very abrupt, like we're done.
Yeah.
Where when you closed it in, you're kind of like, yeah, you were like watching him fade out into the wind. No, it's okay. But that leaves him kind of not knowing when the music ends.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, just ended.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all. It's just you just left him trailed. He didn't know where it was supposed to end. So when you close him into the rail, that's when you're gonna say, that's it. Yep. Perfect. Keep him coming to you before you tell him. Yep. Now point for his nose. Yes. And hope. There. Good job. And did you feel like I saw you kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to stop. Like you almost walked up on your own toes. But when you did, he got it, right? He's like, oh, okay, we're not moving anymore.
Yeah.
Good. I want you to feel that again. Because Memory matters too.
Yeah. I'm glad you said the word intention. Because to visualize it in your head while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
And they pick up on our visions. They actually can understand. So this is going to be good because he's watching something else. He sees the goats. He's got all that stuff going on. Yep, 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 yep. Intention against the wall. Yes, yes. And it's okay. It's okay. Because he thought he was done, and then, but it's nothing you did wrong. He thought he was done, and then he just quit. So it's nothing you actually did wrong necessarily. So go ahead and try that one again.